Hello, welcome to your pick a card reading. Today we're going to look at your current relationship and what guidance the cards are offering you. This reading is geared towards existing situationships and relationships, but it's also a timeless reading, so you can watch it at any time. It doesn't matter where you're at in your love life, you can watch this. This is a collective reading, and not everyone is going to resonate with every single message, but there is so much wisdom here for you either way, so I hope that you gain something from this and gain some clarity. For those of you who don't know how it works, as you can see, I have 4 piles here, and this one is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So that's group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So you're going to pick a group and you have to take your time, breathe, tune into your intuition. You can pause this video if you need to. And then when you're ready, you can jump to the timestamp that is your group. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like your reading. I'm really excited. Let's get into it. Okay, group number 1. Let's get started with your relationship. I already pulled some cards that are oracle cards, and it was just to speed up the time, but I haven't actually looked at them. So I did this for every single group. Okay, we have Eros, the Beaver, and the Goblin. Oh, okay, this is a heavy one. I feel like you might be going through some tension. There might be some toxic energy going around in your relationship, but I feel like it's been a while. I also feel like you may be lacking sex. You may feel like you're not getting enough intimacy, enough passion in your relationship. With Eros here, I feel like you really want this person to be more passionate, to have more desire for you. But with the Beaver, this person's very hardworking. They're someone that has very strong family values. They care very deeply about their responsibilities, about taking care of things, about doing things. And they're the kind of person that will go to work all day, come home, and just need to chill because they are wiped out. I feel like you can tell that this person is worn out. Like, they've probably made it pretty obvious. The Goblin is a very intense energy of just being unhappy, dealing with a lot of toxicity, not being okay, not being healthy, So I feel like this relationship is kind of on the rocks. I'm actually getting multiple messages, but we'll just start with this for now. I feel like with the Beaver, this person may be just really worn out and they don't really have enough energy to have this kind of exciting bedroom, moment with you. I feel like they don't have the stamina for you right now to give you what you want in the bedroom. I feel like you might be sexually frustrated because they're very tired all the time, or there's some kind of habit that they have that's really annoying you. But I feel like there is just a lot of negativity surrounding them. And so those things that you want are put on the back burner because they're not up for it. And I feel like it's not really your fault because they are the ones that are working so hard and they're not putting you first or your needs first, especially if they're sexual needs. I feel like if they're family members, or not family members, if you have a family together, this is the kind of person that will go the extra mile for them. If you have kids together, this often happens when we have kids with someone, then we get very tired, our lives become around our kids, and then we no longer really focus on each other. So that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. It's just kind of feeling worn out. All those things that you used to spend on each other, you're spending them on other things, on work, on, other responsibilities, on children, family, whatever it is that you're doing. It's like you're not getting laid. So there's that. Another message that I'm seeing here, because I am seeing multiple messages. So if that doesn't resonate with you, this might. I feel like you're in a relationship right now that you're not happy, okay? But I do feel like this could be you seeing someone else while you're already in a relationship. I'm not saying you're cheating on them, but I feel like there's some desire, some attraction. You might be attracted to someone else because you're not getting it in the relationship. With Eros, it can really represent a passion or like a strong temptation, you know, to take you away from your life, from the world. So let's see if we can pull any more cards here. But yeah, with the Goblin overall, it's just a very beautiful, beautiful time of really kind of going within and figuring out, okay, what is really bothering me? What is it? You know, how can I really resolve this? Because where is this like negative energy coming from? Because it's usually something that you can pinpoint, that you can fix. So I don't want you feeling like suddenly you can't do it, you know, because just because this is hopeless or something. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm trying to find, oh, here they are. I like put them down a second ago and then, yeah, I don't know why I did that. It's like, why did I put them behind me? I wonder what that says. Okay, shuffle. Okay. Yeah, that just confirms it. This person is the moneymaker. Maybe they go to work every day. They're the ones that pay the bills, or they're just a very hardworking person that they're very focused on growth, on like making more money. It's kind of this perpetual, like a hamster wheel, you know, constantly going back and forth, trying to go around in circles, keeping on trying to make money, but spending more. Like, it's like living paycheck to paycheck sometimes, this kind of energy. I just feel like you're in this perpetual kind of like growth pattern that doesn't seem to be growing. So it's like when you're working really hard at something, yet you're not really seeing results. That kind of energy. But it doesn't mean that it won't get better, like that it can't grow. It just means that it's not growing right now. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh. Okay. So that makes sense. It's almost like you want them to just do something. It's like, I'm getting this Britney Spears song in my head. Why don't you do something? But yeah, like, why can't they just do something? Why can't they just do it? Why can't they just, like, you know, have sex with me? Like, why can't they just be with me? Interesting. Wow. Okay. I'm putting these together because I'm just sensing, like, with the Knight of Cups, I feel like the Knight needs a sword. And often the Knight of Cups isn't really focused on the fight, you know? They're not focused on needing to move forward and take action. They're focused on their feelings and just like enjoying themselves. So let's see what this says. I feel like for you, you really want this person to just like shake things up. You know, you want to have lust, you want to have passion, you want to have love, even if you have to like tear the whole house down with your sexy lovemaking. That's actually what I am, the perfect like representation of this, you know, where someone, they try to have sex with someone, but it gets so wild that they kind of like destroy the area they're having sex on. I feel like that's the kind of thing you're looking for here. You just are tired of just being all good and sitting by and waiting. You just want to do stuff. You want to, you know, create a little chaos, mess things up a little bit. And is that healthy? Not necessarily. But then again, the way you're going in your relationship is not very healthy. So there's that. I also feel like you want a playful relationship. There's a sense of needing to be more cheerful, needing to have more fun, you know? Things have just gotten so serious and monotonous and heavy, and now it's time for you to just have fun. I also feel like if you have a family with them, you're urging them to spend more free time with their kids, because there's just this very like playful energy, but there's also paired with this family energy. I feel like you just want more fun, more passion, more creativity, more sparks, you know? You want to be silly, you want to have a good time. And I feel like for some of you, those of you who are looking elsewhere and getting attracted to someone else, you know, this could mean that means that you're like looking for a good time. You're not necessarily looking for anything serious with that person. You're just looking for, you know, to feel cheerful again, to feel happy. It's just all becomes so, yeah. It's Mercury in retrograde, guys, while I'm filming this, so please forgive me if words are not coming out of my mouth very well right now. But yeah, I feel like with the Knight of Cups, it's definitely giving off that this person wants you to just be your charming self and to keep acting like nothing's happening. They want you to be emotional, but they also, what I'm also getting is they want you to say what you're feeling. You might be harboring a lot of these feelings inside and not actually expressing them outward. So I feel like for them, it's like, well, why aren't they saying anything? You know, if they really feel that way about me, why aren't they telling me how much they care about me? Or why aren't they telling me this? I just feel like you're not expressing your feelings enough. You're not being that emotional person for them because you've developed such a hard shell over time. I hope that makes sense, because while you are creative and you're very, you know, emotional and like you have a big heart, I just feel like a lot of that has gone to other things in your relationship or in your life. And so you too, you can't just wait for them to come to you. You also have to be like, here's my love, I'm confessing it to you. I feel like a grand romantic gesture is in the cards for you, but that's what they want from you, not necessarily what they're going to give you. So it's interesting because they want you to have this, to confess your love to them, but at the same time, they're not doing the things that you want. So it's kind of like this mismatchness, you know? I feel like you're just getting in your head so much, like stress and anxiety taking over. It's almost like it's just kind of keeping you in this headspace of like neither one of you is getting what you want. However, it doesn't mean that it can't work out. I feel like with the Two of Wands here, with enough planning and kind of, you don't have to completely burn your house down to get what you want. You can be spontaneous, but still have some boundaries and structure in place. So you can maybe plan like a date night, you know, or plan a time where you kind of have sex. Plan these moments. I know that doesn't sound very sexy, but when you're trying to build your intimacy back up, that is what you got to do here. You got to schedule in these sessions and the other things will come. A lot of this has to do with mental health and really needing to like not be in your head so much about everything. I feel like you're kind of amplifying it that way. And instead of just confessing your feelings and instead of them just being playful, it's like you're not really getting through to each other. Because how are they going to know how you're feeling if you don't tell them how you're feeling, right? You have all these feelings. That's very clear. So I do see that things can work out, but it mostly is about you getting out of your own way, you know? And you scheduling time in the future to be together. But I also feel like for those of you who are currently in a relationship and you're looking elsewhere, you're going to have to make a very difficult decision about whether you want to stay with this person. If they're not changing, if they're not going to, you know, show you the affection and intimacy that you desire, then you need to let them go. You need to make a choice. And, you know, sometimes that's the only way through it, is just to make a choice and be decisive. What I'm getting here, it's more like words, though, in this situation. So For example, you can write a poem or do some kind of grand romantic gesture for this person. I know it's like there's kind of, I'm sensing a lot of resentment about how they're feeling towards you, but yeah, like you're like resenting them for not paying enough attention to you or for just focusing so much on work. Like they think they're doing the right thing by helping you, but they probably are not. So that's kind of where I'm at here. Let me see if I get any other messages. I'm going to pull some cards. Okay. We got the hat. Interesting. A fair woman. And teardrops. Okay. Clearly, as we've established, this is going to be a very emotional time for you. You know, there's this feeling of like, why don't they care about me? Why aren't they touching me? Why don't they love me? You know, a lot of this has to do with your needing to feel that way, to feel loved, to feel touched, to feel like it's not all serious, like you can just have a good time. And I feel like you're going to be, you might have to wear different hats in order to be who you need to be in this relationship. So for example, this could be a roles reversal. Like maybe if one person is usually the one who, you know, makes money and goes to work and the other person's a stay-at-home parent, you might have to switch. You might find yourself taking on different responsibilities that you normally would rely on your partner for. I just feel like you're going to have to wear a different hat around them, you know? And so this is definitely something that will play out and impact this decision that you make and whatever you do. I feel like there's a lot of this energy of, this isn't like me, you know? Like I am acting this way, but this isn't how I am usually. It's almost like maybe you're usually not this like sexual fiend, but you are actually like embodying that role right now because you're feeling so desperate, but you're not usually this desperate person, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like with the fair woman, you know, this could be anyone, but I don't see this being the other person. This is probably a relationship that is maybe the other person's involved with. And if it's that scenario where you're already in this relationship and you see another person, I see this being the temptation for you. But yeah, it could definitely involve a third party kind of coming in and tempting your person away. I feel like maybe one of the reasons is like there's a coworker or somebody at work who is tempting you or tempting them, which can cause a lot of confusion and tears. I also feel like this is a time for a purge for you emotionally. You know, you have been holding on to a lot of really heavy feelings and emotions, and now is the time to shed all that and purge and release all that. And I'm going to just roll some of these. Okay, we have... All right. So 10 could be yes, I'm getting Capricorn energy, Aquarius energy, and Taurus energy. 10 really resonates with this beaver because it has to do with your reputation, your career. I feel like a lot of things are at stake. This person may be in a position where they have a lot weighing on them. They have a lot of responsibilities, and it's kind of become who they are. And so the family sometimes may become second, or it may not feel as important to be as, you know, passionate. I also feel like this person is probably someone who's never been this like sexual god, right? This person, you can't really expect them to just change who they are. And this is definitely a time of like, it's a karmic situation. I feel like this is a really important time in your life that is going to be transformational, but it's also like a very slow and stubborn energy. It's not going to be easy to get through. You know, it's a very conflicting moment for you, but it's also going to be a make or break for your future. And this Taurus energy, you know, a lot of this has to do with the material world and our values. I feel like this person has very strong values. They can be maybe a little old-fashioned at times, is what I'm getting. And so it may not be, they might not be very big into experimenting and doing things that are out of the ordinary or not traditional. For some reason, I'm getting with this fair woman that she dyes her hair. It could be that she dyes her hair blonde or a different color, because that's what I'm getting as well. Yeah, so I hope that this helps you better understand your relationship a little bit. Remember, it's a mindset thing too. So this can be overcome. A lot of it is going to be about planning, you know, making plans, making decisions about things, scheduling in your time to have sex and do things. And also, this kind of energy, this tower energy that you want from them, this kind of chaotic, like, let's blow things up and just be wild, you know, energy, that is going to go away in time once you're able to resolve this. So, you know, don't let the tears, don't read too much into that, but feel your feelings. They're all very valid. And maybe try to take a different role. If you're not the one who usually goes out of your way and does a romantic gesture or does something wild, this is your time. This is your permission slip to do that. Wear that hat. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this. Make sure that you subscribe and that you like this video. And please comment below with your pile and let me know what you think. Welcome group number 2. So if you have picked this right here and group number 2, then you are in the right place. We're going to start by looking at your relationship, and I've actually pulled some oracle cards in order to save us some time. I haven't really looked at them yet, so we'll see. The Poet. Ooh. The Cosmic Egg. The Phoenix. Okay. All right. So what I'm already getting is this relationship, it may be like you've had to start over. There could be a lull currently in it, but what I'm seeing is with the Cosmic Egg, this could be a twin flame or karmic connection. This is a very powerful, beautiful spiritual connection that you both have, that you share, that like transcends space and time. I feel like this is the kind of connection you have with someone where you just know that you're soulmates. Like you meet them and you realize how powerful it is. And it's like you can almost feel each other's feelings. You can read each other's energy from across the room, whether you believe in this or not. Like you can do that. I feel like this person has been searching for you. They have been looking for you across lifetimes. And in this lifetime, they found you. I do feel like there has been some ups and downs. Either that or it recently ended, or you recently got out of it. I feel like with the Phoenix, you know, the Phoenix rises from the ashes. It's reborn. But when it's reversed, you have to remember that they're still ashes. It still died. So it's kind of like this thing that may have ended or restarted, you know? I feel like for you, there's this strong energy of we belong together. We're going to be together. It's going to work. Like, it's just beautiful. You have this faith. However, it may feel like lately things have gotten very monotone, or there might be a lull. It's like there's something that has been stopping you from feeling like you can progress and flourish. And just because you have this base energy doesn't mean that something has blossomed from it. I hope that makes sense. So I feel like you just have all this powerful energy surrounding you and this really beautiful kind of spiritual connection. But it's like, where do we go from there? You know, and is this person still in my life or are they not? Like, it will depend on who is listening to this. But just know that this is a sign that there's a new chapter about to start in this connection. This could mean like if you got into a fight and you're not talking or something, this is you talking again. You know, this is you starting over. So this is their kind of vibe with you. I feel like it's kind of been rocky, but the cosmic shows me that there's such a beautiful potential for happiness and just like pure satisfaction. The poet is telling me that you want this person to pursue you. I feel like you want them to be that romantic kind of person that goes after what they want and expresses their feelings. Like, yeah, for sure you feel it, but sometimes you want someone to say it. You want someone to express it, to put it out there into the universe instead of just like feeling like you know them, you know? So that's the kind of energy I'm getting here. And I feel like with the poet, it's also about the written word. I feel like this person is extremely creative. Like they have a lot of talent, a lot of skill, and maybe you're even envious of it, but I just feel like you have a very artistic kind of energy surrounding the both of you. I feel like you guys could both be, you don't really care as much about the materialistic world. It's more about like being with each other and just being spiritually as opposed to materialistically. But I also feel like part of you wants it to be more serious. Just because you have great chemistry with someone and a really powerful, you know, experiences with them doesn't mean that it's real. It's not until you write it down that it becomes real. It's not until you make it tangible and physical and translate it into our physical world that it's real. I feel like this is the kind of relationship where you're thinking about each other all the time, even when you're not there together. But this card tells me that there is so much more out there for you to explore. And I think you know how artistic and creative they are. And it's also like, why aren't you using that on me? You know, why aren't you taking this to the next level in our relationship? Because we have so much. And also, I'm still getting this, why won't you call me kind of thing. So if you feel like this person hasn't been there for you or they've kind of cut you off lately, that's just so you know, that's not the case. I feel like they are their own person and they're just going through their own energetic shifts. But I do feel like it doesn't discount what you've had, you know? And the poet is such a creative card that it's also like, how can you write your love story? How can you write the ballad of your love story? It's almost like you have this idea, this fantasy of how you want your relationship to be, how you want it to look, because there's just so much potential. Like, how could you not think about that? How could you not fantasize about that? I just feel like you're the kind of person that gets very swept up in their fantasies. You have very strong emotions, and they do too. So let's see what else the cards have to say. I just want to make sure I shuffle everything. It's very hard to do it from this angle, so 1 second. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Emperor. Let's see, I really love these cards. They're so pretty. We have the Four of Cups reversed. We have the Hermit. And the Six of Wands. And the Magician. Okay. Wow. So this is a really beautiful reading, first of all. I just feel like this confirms it with the Queen of Cups. This person is very artistic, very creative. They have just this beautiful mind, and it's one of the things you've fallen in love with them. I feel like they're also very expressive, but for some reason I just feel like they're expressive towards other things and maybe not enough towards you with the Poet here. I also feel like there's this feeling with the Emperor of needing to be taken more seriously. Like sometimes when you have such a powerful love, you might feel like the other person isn't really, it's kind of like they're taking it for granted. But I feel like with the Emperor here, it's different. The Emperor is saying, no, you need to take charge more. You need to start doing this more. You know, and it's giving orders. So I feel like you want this person to be more of the one in charge. You want them to start stepping it up, to be more outspoken, to be more expressive towards you. They're very emotional and sensitive. I just feel like they're a very sensitive person. Maybe they can be kind of dramatic at times, but I feel like for you, it's very important for you now that you want what your friends want. You want what other people have. I'm feeling like you want this kind of fairy tale. Maybe you want them to be more, take more of that masculine role. For example, and this doesn't have to do with gender at all, but for example, with this feminine card, right, of feeling like more soft and creative and in the flow. That's who they are now. But you want them to be someone who is more structured, who is more assertive, who is more commanding, who might have that more maybe dominant presence. You want them to be a little bit more forward. But I don't believe that this has anything to do with gender. I just feel like you have been the one kind of taking charge. You've been the one who has been taking care of things while they kind of have been maybe sitting back or just being more in the flow. And you want them to step it up and you want them to do this more traditional kind of role. I just feel like this is really important because it just tells of like the dynamic shift that is happening. I also feel like you want them to take a more active role. You know, with the Four of Cups reverse, it's like you don't want them to just sit around and be passive. You want them to be more active, you know, more motivated. That's a big one, motivated. I feel like you want them to be more motivated. The Hermit is really about trying to do your own thing. It's interesting because while you want them to take a more hands-on approach and be more, you know, invested and be more serious and be more, you know, a go-getter, they don't want that. They want to basically for you each to be very, not detached, but distant from each other. It's almost like they're happy just being independent people. I feel like right now, if this is any indication of the relationship not being a current thing, like maybe you guys did have a fight or you took a break or they're not getting in touch with you, I feel like right now they want you to be far away. They want you to be distant. It's almost like they want you to just do your own thing, stop worrying about them so much, stop doing that. That's what they want. Meanwhile, you're there like, hey, hello, like, let's get going. Let's be motivated. Let's reach out, you know. But the Six of Wands is telling me, oh my God, that this is also going to be a very powerful moment where things either get really great or things don't work out. But what I am getting is that it's leaning towards great. So my camera just died. I'm really sorry, guys. So despite all of this, I feel like this is going to be a really great time. The thing is, this right here is temporary. If they're not calling you back, that's temporary. It's going to end. I see you getting what you want. I feel like you're going to be able to celebrate with them. I see you getting things back on track, things becoming really exciting and beautiful, and you really getting what you want out of this relationship, out of this person. I see them stepping up. I see them moving forward with you. I see them maybe committing to you even further. And I feel like in the future, You guys have everything at your fingertips. This is a very abundant, beautiful love that's just going to grow stronger and stronger. And honestly, the one piece of advice I can give you is to use that momentum that you create with them. Don't just sit by and wait till it fizzles out. Like, start making plans when this happens. A lot of the time when good things happen, we get on this high horse and we're just like riding around, and then it just ends because it's a cycle. Life is cyclical. And we haven't really made plans for the next thing, you know? What's your next move? What's your next plan? So take advantage of the momentum you're feeling and the energy you're feeling. And don't forget to just put that to use and go for it. The Magician here is really about realizing that you have all the tools you need to manifest the life that you want with this person. And understanding that this person can become who you want them to be. They want to be there for you, but it's just right now they want to give you space. I feel like part of them actually is thinking like, okay, I should give them space. If they're not talking to you right now, it's like, I should give them space. I should just wait, you know, till they contact me. Or I'm doing the right thing by doing this. So I feel like there's kind of this miscommunication also that perhaps they're having about you. But no matter what is going on in the relationship, whether you're together or not, this is going to be a very beautiful soulmate connection. And it looks like it's really headed in a beautiful way. So yeah, exciting. I feel like you guys have so much control over the situation. It's not even like a mental thing. It's like you just genuinely, everything is at your fingertips, you know? Okay, and I'm gonna okay, so we have Pisces, we have Virgo, the 6th house. Interesting. And we also have Uranus. So I feel like this is going to be a very life-changing thing. This could also mean Aquarius. So we have Aquarius, Pisces, and Virgo. This could represent you or them or, you know, the sun, moon, or rising sign. So it doesn't really have to do with just sun signs. Yeah, I feel like this is a very transformational time for you. It's also a time where this relationship doesn't really fit the mold. You know, it's very different than a lot of different relationships out there. Like, you can't really compare it. Your love is so unique and expressive in its own way. And so it's like this relationship kind of defies society's standards. It goes against that. I also feel like a lot of this has to do with like competence and feeling secure, you know, feeling like you can count on this person even when they're just floating and in the flow. You know, I feel like this person is very in the flow energetically with you. And yeah, let me grab, there are some oracle cards I want to use. Let me just grab those real quick. So we have the Crown, the Fox, and the Clouds. Honor and respect will come to you. I also feel like this person's finally going to recognize and respect your wishes and your desires. I feel like they're going to see you for who you are and what you're worth, basically. I just feel like there's a sense of respect coming through. And also with the Fox, this does also give soulmate energy, because the Fox is really about mating for life and finding that person that is your equal, that is meant to be with you. I also feel like they might seem like they don't really have the best head on their shoulders to other people. I feel like maybe they can come across as a little shady, or they haven't always walked like the pure and like angelic path, you know? But I do feel like that they have such a powerful like bond with you, and it's like you keep them from getting into trouble is what I'm getting. You keep them from getting into trouble. but they also have a way of like talking to you that kind of makes your heart melt, which is why the Poet is such a beautiful card here. I also feel with the clouds, temporary problems. This just confirms that these issues that you're dealing with, whatever it is, you are dealing with them for temporarily. Like, it's not going to last long. It's just going to, you know, go away, float away like the clouds, like the Queen. Things are going to be good. Just remember to harness that energy, harness that momentum. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this group number 2. I hope that this was helpful. Sorry about things cutting out midway, Mercury and all. But yeah, have a great day and good luck with this. This is exciting. Welcome group number 3. If you've chosen pile number 3, that looks like this, you are in the right place. Welcome. We are going to talk about your relationship today. And I've gone ahead and pulled some oracle cards to save some time. Okay, we have the Bridge, the Bear, and the Salamander. Ooh, okay. I feel like automatically from what I'm getting, this person has a very protective energy towards you. I feel like they're very warm towards you, but they might come across as cold or like kind of like stoic maybe to other people. So for example, like the Salamander here, this is an energy of somebody who might appear a certain way, but then other people don't really see who they really are on the inside, so they're often misjudged. For example, somebody that is really big and scary looking can actually have like golden retriever energy, you know, be very soft and kind, right? I feel like that's the Salamander. This person is underestimated, and so people may not fully get it, but when they get to know them, they really do understand the appeal. I also feel like this person is just very, like physically, this person could be kind of like a bear. They could be very big, very warm. They could have like a very protective, enveloping energy. I also feel like, you know, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case, but that is just, you know, what we're starting with. I also feel like this could be somebody new in your life. It could be like a new relationship or a new chapter in your love life opening up. With the bear, the bear's been hibernating for so long and it's ready for spring. It's ready to get out there. But the problem is that it's not very good at going about it. Like, maybe it's very clumsy about the way it goes about things. It reminds me of when I was first dating someone and then they would like constantly mess up, you know, like I had all these expectations of them, but then they constantly like made mistakes and I had to be very patient with them. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing here. It's like you have to be patient with this person. This person might be kind of reserved or might be in their own little cave, you know, their own little bear cave. But it's not that they don't want you to be with them or that they don't want to reach out to you. It's that it's just like kind of a learning curve for them maybe, or it's like a new thing for them. I'm just seeing that they really want to be there. I also feel like this is the kind of relationship that you can go through anything and still be even stronger at the end. Like, this is the kind of relationship where you go through so much together, like traumatic stuff even, and you come out even stronger. You just, somehow it just makes you more bonded. And with the Bridge here, I feel like you really want to connect with this person. Maybe they're not giving you their all right now. Maybe they're kind of feeling things out. But I feel like you're not getting that bond that you want with them. Maybe there's still a gap between the two of you. But the Bridge here is really about that link. What is keeping you together? What is bringing you together? What is bonding you? Where's that bridge? You know, and so finding out what things unite you is going to be a very important theme here. maybe finding out what you have in common, finding different ways you can reach out to each other, how you enjoy spending time together. This feels like you're feeling things through a lot. But it's also very powerful. And a lot of people might misperceive it, like they might look at it and not fully understand it, but that doesn't matter. Like what matters is what you guys want. So with the bridge, it's more about creating that bond, creating that everlasting link. And the more that you have that, the more you traverse the bridge, the more powerful and eternal your love is, right? So it's about bridging that gap between you. So if this person has kind of been standoffish or distant or cold, or you can't really get a read on them as much, then this is that. This is for you. Because this is basically, like, in a nutshell what that reading is about. So I'm going to go ahead and get some cards. Okay. The Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. They say chalices in this deck. The Seven of Cups and the Strength card. We have the Nine of Swords reversed and the Four of Pentacles reversed. Oh boy. Okay. I feel like for you, it's almost like, why aren't you putting me first? I feel like you're having trouble reading them, like I said. It's like they're prioritizing other things, and it may feel like you don't know how to bridge that gap, that, you know, figure out what unites you. You want to deepen your connection. You want to deepen that bond. But what this is telling me is other things are kind of getting in the way of that. There's like a lack of balance happening. And what I'm seeing from you is that a lot of this has to do with your own unique perspective, right? Like you have this idea of love and what you want in a relationship and what you want with love. And I feel like you're projecting this fantasy onto this person. Like they're just figuring shit out. They're just getting started. But you're here, like you're bridging, you're like projecting this kind of fantasy onto them of like who you want them to be or what you want in love. With the Nine of Cups, it's like, it's the wish card. You know, you have these wishes for your relationship. You want them to come true. And that's what you want them to do for you. You want to be granted the wishes, right? So you want them to be that fairy tale person for you. This is also a very similar message with the Seven of Cups, is that it's like you have all these ideas about what you want your relationship to be like. You have passions. I feel like you want this person to do a lot of different things, but a lot of it is not realistic. I'm just seeing you not being very like realistic or grounded. Maybe because you see your friends or you see it on TV or whatever, but love is very different for different people. And I just feel like for you, there are these expectations that you have as far as like romance, as far as passion, as far as like everything. And I feel like you have boxes that need to be checked. And even if you don't, you know, call it that, I feel like it's kind of like you have this idea of what you want, and this person is not meeting those needs. So I do feel like this person really just wants you to be empathetic and compassionate towards them. I feel like they're going through whatever they're going through, and they want you to be patient and just stick it out and just keep putting your all in every day. Is that realistic either? I don't know. You guys you are both kind of delusional in a sense, because you're both kind of wanting this from the other person, but like, how can he or they or she want you to be so like compassionate and empathetic towards them when they're not really giving you what you want, right? There has to be this kind of middle ground that you find. what I also feel like is things are tough. Like you're going to have to maybe lean on other people outside of your relationship right now. With the Nine of Swords reversed, I feel like you're carrying a lot. And I think that it's scary to talk to other people about your relationship, because when you do, you can't take it back, right? You don't want people to think it's not working, but you got to be real, you know, open up to someone about how you're feeling, because this is a lot, and it's a lot for you to carry by yourself. I feel like even in the future, even if you're able to heal certain things, there's still going to be a certain level of jealousy and envy in your power dynamics. It's almost like you're becoming very insecure because of their situation, because of the energy they're putting out. This happens a lot. I see this a lot in dynamics where, like with toxic masculinity, for example, where guys are taught to suppress their feelings and not emote, not cry, right? And so when they're in a relationship, they don't really show their emotions or their feelings a lot. And so the girl often, can depend obviously, but in a straight, heterosexual relationship, often the girl will start to fantasize about things that they want the guy to do and have all these feelings about them when the guy isn't meeting them there. They're not bridging that gap, so they're not really meeting them there. And then the guy's like, well, I just want her to be happy with me and love me and, be devoted to me, but he's not fully giving her everything either, right? So it's just kind of this weird dynamic of not being able to fully meet each other halfway, expecting things out of each other that are kind of not there. He might be appearing to be very calm and collected and cool, even though he has a soft heart and is very protective and kind. But at the same time, he can be lazy maybe. The bear is still waking up from his hibernation. He's still kind of groggy and figuring things out. So he may not have that momentum and the energy to fulfill these desires, these wishes. Yeah, it's a very straightforward kind of message, but that is definitely what I'm getting. I'm also going to use some more oracle cards here to elaborate a little bit. The Eye, trust your intuition. Fire, ooh, strong emotions, passionate love or hate. Interesting. Flag, okay. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Yes, I feel like for you, this is going to be important because, well, yes, you do have these kinds of fantasies. I feel like you also can't. A lot of what happens is that we are in a relationship and we feel really desperate for it to work. And so we end up like lowering ourselves to meet the other person's needs, which isn't a lot, And so we kind of put our desires on the back burner. And I feel like what's happening here is that there's this delusion on both ends. And it's easy to kind of be like, okay, well, I'm just overthinking it. Or I'm just, it's just in my head, or maybe I'm asking too much of them, and maybe you are, but it doesn't mean you should lower these standards for anyone, okay? The Fire, I feel like there is a lot of emotion going on here, even if they don't do everything emotionally, like if they don't even come forward emotionally, I feel like this is going to be a very important time when it comes to feelings and love. And you might develop some resentment, but this is a very passionate time. Lots of feelings all over the place. And it's like, how can you trust your own heart when your feelings are on fire, right? I also feel like you need to trust your intuition. You have a very strong intuition. A lot of the time, we ignore it when it comes to love, when it comes to our feelings and doing the right thing. And this is like, if your intuition is telling you to end this, you should end this. Like, don't prolong it because this person is clearly not ready in that case, you know? But if your relationship is going well and you feel like in your core and you feel intuitively like everything's going to work out, then make sure that you're following through with that as well. I'm just going to roll these, see what we have. Okay. 12th house, Pisces. I love that. We have this intuitive energy, but also the house of troubles. Let's not forget. We have Sagittarius, and we also have Pisces. Wow. So Neptune. I feel like there could be some escapism going on. Perhaps there's this need to like escape into something. Maybe you like to both watch a lot of TV in order to avoid your problems, or maybe you both like to drink a lot in order to avoid your problems, like something like that. Maybe you both like to go in your separate corners and do certain things, but there's like this avoidancy going on. So I would look into that. Yeah. Also with the eye, I would say be careful about, like, I feel like there's a lot that the eyes have to say about somebody. And a lot of the time, if this person isn't very expressive, the eyes are really going to give away what they're feeling. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Welcome group number 4. This is your group if you have picked this deck. I'm really excited to talk about your relationship today. I have started by already picking some oracle cards. I haven't looked at them yet, so I'm really excited to see what you get. Okay, we have the stone, the butterfly, and the thunderbird. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm already getting that you guys are like a power couple. Either that or you're just a very powerful couple. I feel like you guys, other people look at you like they look up to you. I see them seeing you guys and putting you kind of on a pedestal maybe. Maybe people see your relationship is really great. I feel like it is a very solid relationship, but right now it might feel kind of stable, like unstable, like it's kind of in a transition phase. I feel like this person may seem kind of fragile, may seem kind of not as sturdy and secure as you want. Perhaps they're going through a job change or career change or a transition period, but I feel like this person isn't able to really like be your rock right now, and that's what you want. You want them to be your rock. You want them to be solid. You want them to be secure. You want to be able to count on them. You want them to ground you. And right now, they're not doing that because they're in a situation that's making them feel very flighty or feel very like wobbly is what I'm getting. I love that word, wobbly. So the Thunderbird is also telling me like this is a temporary thing though. You guys have so much potential and so much power, and you work really well together. Like you are supposed to be together. There is like this power dynamic that is so perfect. Like you both are on top of the world. You could be the king and the queen or the rulers of the world, you know? I just feel like you have such an interesting dynamic that it turns heads. When you walk into a room, like people notice you. You leave an impression. But the butterfly is telling me like there's a period in your life right now where it's just kind of like, where do we go from here? Or it doesn't feel as stable. And you want them to be your rock. You want someone who grounds you, who makes you feel centered, who makes you feel anchored. And I'm just seeing that being a difficult thing for you right now. So let's see what else this has to say. But I just want to say like this relationship, you're like a cocoon for this person. You know, I feel like you're like this warm hug for them. While you really want that for yourself. You want someone who is more solid, who can be there for you in that way. So All right. Shuffle these up. Okay. The Tower. Ooh, okay. So I feel like you're seeing the flaws in your relationship now. If you thought that your relationship was perfect before, now you're really seeing what's not working. I feel like you're seeing the little cracks and tears in your plans. You know, the things that may not actually work out. I feel like it's dawning on you. A lot of the time, the Tower reversed, we can see it coming. We can see it coming when the Tower goes down. You know, when it all crashes and burns. We know that it's about to happen deep down, even if we don't want to admit it. Because the thing is, like, there are signs. They're usually signs when something's falling apart. But it can feel like the end of the world because we have denied that. We have acted like it's so sudden and out of the blue, but it's not. And I'm not saying that this is falling apart. Like I said, this is temporary energy. But I do feel like you are seeing now that things aren't as solid and sturdy as you want them to be. You know? You're finally noticing these things. So it's one of the reasons that you feel like you want some more security. You want to have your rock. You want someone to be there for you. Okay, we also have the Nine of Pentacles. I also feel like you want to maybe have a home with this person or decorate your home. It's more like you want to set up a home with them. This could mean like you want them to move in or you want to move in with them. But it could also mean like just having a safe space with them. Feeling like safe, feeling like things aren't all over the place. Just feeling like you can surround yourself with love and happiness and support. I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, there's a sense of abundance. Like you don't want to have to worry about money. And perhaps they're not the most reliable with that right now. Like maybe you want them to be able to provide a life for you that, or like you kind of share a life with them that is worry-free and more abundant and prosperous and less like worried whether you're going to be able to keep it together, you know? I just feel like money is a big thing here. Like there may be a lack of financial security. It could be like just this kind of like in-between stage. I feel like you want them to be your partner, your committed partner. This is probably like a spouse. I feel like you want marriage. You want commitment. And if you're already married and you're watching this, then this could mean like you want to take that even further. The Four of Wands is really about stability, but it's also about like a celebration, marriage, having a good time. I feel like you're kind of in this situation where you're very like reliant on this, and marriage is important to you. I feel like this idea of happily ever after and like fully committing to someone legally is important to you. I don't feel like they are putting as much pressure on you as you are on them though. The Knight of Swords is telling me like they want you to be more assertive and more of like an independent person and less of a talker. Maybe you're talking to them a lot about what's not working or you're trying to communicate so much. I feel like for you it's important to just be more decisive instead of relying on them to make the decisions or be wish-washy, you know, because they're in such an in-between stage. Be the decisive one. Sometimes you might have to be the one who pushes forward, and that's just the way it is. I feel like you also need to have a very good intellectual relationship with this person. And I think that this person really wants someone that they can just talk to about things, but not always have to work on things. That's what I'm getting. I also feel with the Eight of Wands, you need to go with the flow. You have been trying so hard to force a situation that isn't helping. I feel like the butterfly here is telling us like, okay, you're in between. It's a transition phase. It may not feel completely stable right now. It may not feel completely like okay and serious and, you know, sturdy, but that's okay. Because things are about to speed up. Things are about to change, and it's going to happen very quickly. And all you can do is go with it. You can surrender to it. Go with the flow. Everything you're experiencing right now is temporary. This feeling of seeing all the weaknesses in your relationship, temporary. This is all temporary, you know? I actually see you guys recovering from this. I see you guys moving forward from this with the Five of Cups. So stop trying to control it or worry about how this person is not a certain way for you. I do see marriage coming your way. I feel like this is something that you can get through and you can overcome. And you're going to deepen your commitment. But I also just feel like the sense of security that you're feeling, like you need to sort of create that for yourself right now in the meantime. But go with the flow. Just enjoy it. I love this deck. It's so pretty. Enjoy it, okay? Enjoy your life with them. I'm going to pull some other cards here. Okay, we have karma. You will reap what you have sown. Yeah, so everything that you put into this relationship, you're going to get from it, you know? So the more you're able to stick through it and really just put your all into it with this Knight of Wands energy, you're going to get what you want out of it. It's really like that simple, you know? So I feel like even if you have been working really hard on your relationship, this is going to pay off for you. And like I said, I also see with the sun here, happiness and well-being. This is going to end in a happy note. I feel like the way things are going, if you're able to surrender and let go and stop needing to kind of control and be secure, like the sense of security is really your own doing, you know, then this is going to be beautiful for you. And I'm also getting the Diamond. So this could definitely mean a proposal, an engagement, a marriage. Like I see this kind of celebration happening. And as far as like a gift goes, I mean, this could be a diamond ring, but it could also be like something else that is just from the heart. I feel like this is a very powerful moment. And I also feel like money-wise, like it's about realizing what is precious to you and what matters most to you. And also having a sense of security. So, yeah, I see you getting that kind of confirmation. Yay, so awesome. All right, let's do some Zodiac dice. Okay, so we have Scorpio. Ooh, okay. Whenever I have a node, I always really refer that to like a past life or future life. This is a karmic relationship. This might be a cycle that has played out over and over again. I also see Virgo, so Scorpio and Virgo. And the sixth house is really about like competency and skills. I feel like this really confirms my thoughts about like work. This person is trying to be competent at what they're doing. They're trying to like have these skills. And I feel like right now they're at this in-between period. So that could definitely do it. It also is the house of health. And so we could have some of that coming in where this person might temporarily be going through some kind of health issue. And you are kind of realizing that you have to you're waiting on them maybe. Like maybe they can't really take care of things financially or themselves. So, you know, it isn't as strong as you'd like it to be. But yeah, this is definitely an important time. So I hope that this helps you. And yeah, I hope you have a fabulous day. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and comment below. Let me know what you think. Did you agree with this? Do you like this? Do you hate this? I want to know what you are going through and what you're experiencing, because it is really like helpful for me also. But yeah, have a great day.